What's up, family? It's High Energy Tuesday. Let's go. Too many people are waiting on chance. Too many people are waiting on luck. Too many people are just waiting stagnant for something to happen, and nothing good has ever happened from just being stagnant and complacent. I'm telling you that you've got to get up and you've got to work. Don't just sit there and wait on chance. Don't just sit there and wait on luck. Have some faith and take that step. And that step, I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be absent hardship. It's going to be absent heartache, because there are going to be some pain moments that you have to go through. But once you go through it, once you face yourself, that you can overcome anything that you've ever faced in life. And I'm telling you from experience, because I've had some moments in life where I've had to be honest with myself, and I haven't always liked the response that I've given myself. I haven't always liked what I saw in the mirror, but I made a commitment. I made a promise in order to overcome those things, because it was holding me back. And sometimes you're being held back. Sometimes you're being held in place. Sometimes you're being held still by the things that are holding you stagnant, which are a part of you that you've got to overcome. It's like boiling water. If you want water to boil faster, you got to stir it up. And so sometimes you got to look deep within and you got to say, okay, what needs stirring up? I was talking to one of my friends, and we're talking about what's going on in our lives and where we were professionally, and where we were in our family lives. And as we were talking, it just seemed to kind of spiral. And he was talking about all these things that were going wrong and how it was a result of something else, or it was someone else's fault. And as he kept going on, I'm just being a friend and a brother, and I'm just listening on until I got to a point. I was like, hey man, at what point is anything your responsibility? At what point do you take account for your part in anything that we're talking about? And he got quiet, and he looked down for a moment. And then he looked back up and he said, you're right. And then we started talking about the things that he could change by his own behaviors in order to put him on the right track, to put him in the place where he truly wanted to be. If you do the work, then you could be that rocket that's getting ready to take off. But until you get to the point where you're willing to do the work, you won't be there. Too many of us are waiting on chance. Too many of us are waiting on luck. But just like I sat there and listened to my friend and just kind of took it in, there still has to be progress made. And one thing we talked about was the more things that you put in the bucket, the harder it's going to be to get going, because the bucket just gets heavier and heavier. It's like boiling water. The more things you put into the water, the slower the boil is going to be. But the more that you stir it up, the faster that it will boil. So it's if you put more things in the bucket, that means you have to do more work. You can't just expect to get the same result with the same minimal effort that you were putting in before you put all the things into the bucket. And so take on more challenges. Take that leap of faith. Get to that point where you're ready to just skyrocket into the stars, to where you feel that you can be your unlimited self, your unlimited potential, the best version of yourself that exists, the version of yourself that you dreamed of. But it's gonna take work. It's gonna take honesty. And so until you can get to a point where you can be honest with yourself about your own accountability, until you can take some responsibility about what you're doing and what you're not doing, and stop giving yourself excuses, this is a no excuse land. This is no excuse age. This is the information age. This is the data age. Anything that you want to know is at your fingertips. Anything that you want to do, that you want to dream of, there's the possibility to do it. It's only impossible right now because you're not willing to do the work. And he talked about all the things he was supposed to be. He talked about all the things he was supposed to be doing. He talked about all the places he was supposed to go. He talked about every single thing that he should have did. But we know how the saying goes, shoulda, woulda, coulda, did never happen. Stop talking about it and put in the work. Stop waiting on chance. Stop waiting on luck, because being stagnant never got anybody anywhere. Being complacent never gave a great outcome. It never gave great results. And so if you want to be better today than you were yesterday, if you want to be better tomorrow than you are today, then you got to start right now. And so be honest with yourself and get to that place of, if I want a better life for myself, a better career, if if I want a better outcome in my relationships with my family, if I want something greater than what I have right now, it's gonna take work, because you're putting more inside the bucket, and it takes more for that thing to boil. It takes more for that rocket to take off. It takes more for the energy to come together. But when it's coming together, it's the most beautiful thing that you ever seen. It's like a rocket that's getting ready to take off. You see all of the parts, all of the blood, the sweat, the tears that all of the engineers, that all of the designers have put together over the years come together into this beautiful masterpiece that's getting ready to take off to space. And that's you. But you got to put in the work. It's High Energy Tuesday. Let's go.